All right, today may be a bit of a downer for me to start the show. I'm going to read a couple of poems from a new book and also one I revised yesterday. Taller, prettier, smarter. I was talking to an old friend the other day. She told me that she has lung cancer, which seemed treatable. I said, I don't remember. Did you smoke? She answered, absolutely. It made me taller, prettier, smarter. She always had a way with words. We felt that way when we were young and naive, partially because the media portrayed smoking as cool and sexy. Humphrey Bogart, one of my favorites, always seemed to have a cigarette hanging from his lips. I remember him lighting one in his own mouth and then passing it to his dinner companion, probably Lauren Bacall, for her to smoke. Without recognizing how Freudian this was, I thought it was the coolest thing. Bogart died at the age of 58 of cancer of the esophagus. And it was written in 2019. I wrote it an afterward yesterday. Afterward, the taller, prettier, smarter woman, Jacqueline Worth Birch, died on June 19, 2022, the victim of fucking Joe Camel. She was smart, funny, and tough. I will miss her. I miss her already. And then I had a book that was supposed to be out for Christmas, and it was supposed to be sent to some friends, and particularly some widows of some friends. And the printer screwed up and didn't get out until last week. It's up on Amazon, but I don't want anyone to buy it from Amazon because he put it up without my permission. And so he would get anything for it. So I'm going to do something about that. Here's one, Kevin Paul Buckley, my oldest friend, a year and a half younger, both from 254 Seaman Avenue, Inwood, Manhattan, New York, New York. He was a Brooklyn Dodger fan, me a Boston Red Sox fan. We played ball together, roamed into a park together, hung out in each other's apartment and talked about everything. Then his parents kidnapped him away to Larchmont in the foreign province of Westchester County. In spite of the distance, we stayed close, even after my father died, through letter writing, phone calls, bike trips, sleepovers. Then we drifted a bit. I was a commuter to town at college. He was a resident at Yale. I moved into the world of computers. He became a foreign correspondent. I married and moved 5 miles from 254. He went to Vietnam for Newsweek. I read his stories. He didn't understand what I did. Then he was back first to Harvard, then to New York, and we picked up again, still in somewhat different worlds. Then I divorced and remarried to the wonderful Barbara, and he married the wonderful Gail. And then he had technophobic, needed computer instruction, tried articles and his first book, and Barbara became his tutor. Note, when his publisher told him that his book was too long and he must cut 15 pages, he became almost suicidal until Barbara showed him how to shrink the margins, keeping the book intact, and it worked. Note two, when an editor completely ruined a piece that I worked on technology, changed the whole thrust of the article, and I called him for advice, he asked, are there any factual errors in the revised piece? But I admitted that there were not. He simply said, cash the check. And I did. And we went on like this, many phone calls, terrific parties at his apartment, until he had a stroke that worsened over many years. There was still phone call, but less and not as involved. In the summer of 2021, he, or Gail for him, wrote a blurb for the back cover of my latest book. In November 2021, it was over. Expected, but still a shock. I'll read one more of the last one. Bud. Robert John McMullen, always called Buddy, or Bud, was the best person I ever knew, the model of Christian charity. He was a college professor for over 40 years, a Christian brother of Ireland for 25, a married man for 25, and a very gentle person for all his 70 years on earth, the last decade of which he was racked with terrible Alzheimer's. He taught me in 2 courses while I was in college, 2 well-deserved days. He threw me out of class once, and taught me in other ways for all of my life. He was my brother. Thank you for putting up with me today.